party, and and I had met my wife who lived in Yonkers, and she went to Greenpoint, and I met her, and this is the woman that I married.
The interesting part of the story is the Greenport,
Where was the thing I had?
They're looking at the picture.
It's going
So
around.
it's circling.
I see. Okay, that's all right.
Greenpoint, Brooklyn, is very, very far away from Yonkers.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
In Yonkers
Thank you.
in Westchester County. And back in the 40s, it was like, took hours to get there by public transportation. My mother was invited to this party because the woman that was getting married, it was an engagement party, the woman that was getting married was from Yonkers. And my mother had to take a couple of buses and a couple of subway trains to get to this party. She got halfway there and she recognized that she had forgotten the gift. My mother was a pretty fastidious kind of person, and she felt she couldn't go to the party without the gift. So she went back home to get the gift, and she almost decided that she wasn't going to go to the party. But she did. She went back to the party, and that's where she met my father. I always wondered what would have happened if she didn't go back. But that's a good question. And my father was in his late 30s by the time he dated and got married because of the war. He hadn't gotten married earlier.
I was more than 30. I went into the service, I was 31.
Right.
When I came out, I was 35.
Right. And when you got married, you were 36.
36, yes. So the wartime had a lot to do with marriage.
What other questions do you have? Anybody else?
Does anybody think they can make it to 100? If you do, raise your hand. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Now, the point is, I'm just an average person. If I can do it, you can do it. Believe me, you can do it. Don't smoke and follow these things. What the doctor has given, I followed it. You eat 3 meals a day. You eat breakfast every day. You exercise violently at least twice a week. You can walk. You can do a bicycle. You do anything, but you move your feet. And what is it?
Do you eat red meat?
I can't hear it.
Do you eat red meat?
You shouldn't eat red meat as well.
No, you eat red meat.
Yeah.
He eats red meat, yes.
I eat everything. And you have to sleep 7 or 8 hours. If you follow this, by the way, this book is in the library. It's called The Longevity Code. And it's written by Dr. Pastor.
From
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
You follow this, you can live to be 100.
One of the things I think that's been a contributing factor for my father is that he was diagnosed back when he was in his 80s with diabetes. And so he immediately got himself off of any sugar products. And I think staying away from sugar has been a really good thing for him to keep him going for this period of time. So that would be one recommendation, is to stay sugar-free. Yeah.
What brought you to Superior, Wisconsin?
Well, my name is Cavellis. My husband's Dr. Cavellis. He teaches criminal justice here on this campus. And so we were, 25 years ago, he joined the faculty here. And so we've been living in Superior for 25 years and trying to get my dad to come. Since I'm an only child, Dad's been widowed for 19 years. So for years we've been trying to get him to move here. And finally he agreed this summer. So that's why he's here. Who would have guessed that, that he lived his first 100 years in New York, and here he is for his next 100 years in Duluth.
Well, I was born in Manhattan, and I lived in New York all my life. And I talk like a New Yorker.
And he's a
I'm
Giants.
happy.
He's a Giants, a real big Giants, and a Yankee fan. So he's very excited about the Super Bowl this coming Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. So,
Any other questions?
Any thoughts of marriage in the future?
He wants to know if you have any thoughts of marriage in the future.
Well, we have quite a few women where I live at St. Anne's, and unfortunately, they're too old for me. They're either 85 or 95 or 100. So you go pick them.
He likes them younger.
I like a nice young girl with nice smooth cheeks and all the things that come with youth.
Do you have other questions for Abe?
What?
Anything else?
But when I was in Adria, I had a woman come over to me.
That you don't have to tell us.
You don't want me to tell?
Yeah, no, that one was...
Well, I'm going to tell them.
No, they're too young for that.
They too young?
Yeah.
No.
Dad.
They're all 18 or more years.
Okay, Dad. That's okay.
Yeah. They know all about this stuff.
Anything, other questions that you have about living to 100, advice, or what do you think about senses of humor? How is a sense of humor important to you? I read in your book several things about that.
Yes, I'm very much into it, yeah. And I love jokes and being with people and just being a happy guy.
And then one other question is
Go
about
ahead.
the transition. So, transitioning to like Superior, how has that been? How do you?
Lake Superior?
How has it been for you to move from New York to here?
Oh, it's quite a thing. Yeah, it's an entirely new life. Yeah,
You think you should have done it sooner?
I guess so. There are a lot of things that you can do, but I'm very happy there. There's about 175 people, and when we have the what is it? In November we have the one for the people who fought in World War II.
Oh, Veterans
The
Day.
Veterans Day, yeah. I gave a talk then about World War II. And I was the youngest looking veteran there. And the funny part of it was, I was older than all of them. None of them were 100.
Dad has...
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you been to the Veterans Memorial down at the Lake Walk?
A long time ago, I took him there. But actually, at the Bong Memorial, a couple of years ago, we got a plaque for Dad, and he's got a plaque there.
Cool.
So yeah.
Have you brought him to the heritage?
Not yet, but I intend to. Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
Really neat.
Yeah. Dad has 3 large albums of souvenirs from World War II. Has collected. It's quite a